There are moments when an ordinary place turns into something unforgettable, just because of one person. Today, the airport was no longer just a building of arrivals and departures. It became a stage of emotions, hope, and quiet excitement. All for one name, Jimin. At first glance, everything seemed normal. The airport was busy as usual. Passengers pulling their suitcases, announcements echoing through the halls, people rushing to catch their flights. But if you looked closer, something felt different. Small groups of people began gathering near the arrival gate. Some were holding phones tightly. Others carried light sticks, cameras, or little banners with Jimin's name written on them. Minute by minute, the crowd slowly grew. 1 hour passed, then another, and before anyone realized it, the airport had quietly transformed into a sea of army. There was no official announcement, no exact schedule shared publicly, just rumors, hope, and patience. Fans didn't know when Jimin would arrive. They only knew one thing. They were willing to wait, no matter how long it took. If you really pay attention, the most touching moments are often the smallest ones. Some fans were sitting on the airport floor, leaning against their bags, trying to rest while still staying alert. Others stood near the barriers, eyes focused on the exit door, afraid to blink in case they missed him. A few were quietly rehearsing what they might say if they were lucky enough to see him up close. Their faces told different stories: excitement, nervousness, tiredness, hope. Some had clearly been there for hours, yet none of them complained. What's beautiful is how respectful most of them were. Even with all the anticipation, many fans reminded each other to stay calm, to give Jimin space, to not push. It wasn't just excitement. It was love mixed with understanding. As time passed, the atmosphere became more intense. Whispers started spreading through the crowd. Maybe he already landed. They said he might come out soon. No one really knew the truth. But those little rumors were enough to make hearts beat faster. Every time the automatic doors opened, hundreds of eyes turned in the same direction. Every movement from security staff made fans hold their breath. Phones were constantly refreshed. Messages were sent. Updates were searched. Everyone was waiting for the same simple moment. The moment Jimin would finally appear. And then it happened. From a distance, a familiar figure came into view. Jimin, walking calmly, surrounded by staff and security. There were no big gestures, no dramatic entrance, just his quiet presence, instantly changing the entire atmosphere. Soft cheers began to rise from the crowd. Some fans covered their mouths in shock. Others froze, as if they couldn't believe he was really there. What stood out the most was how gentle he looked. Even in the middle of all the noise and attention, Jimin kept a calm expression. He walked slowly, carefully, almost shyly. Those small details said more than any words could. As Jimin passed by, emotions overflowed. Some fans called out his name softly. Others simply watched with teary eyes. You could hear little comments from the crowd. "I can't believe I really saw him. He looks even more beautiful in real life." All the waiting was worth it. There was excitement, yes, but there was also respect. No chaos, no extreme behavior, just pure admiration. This is what makes the bond between Jimin and ARMY so special. It's not only about fame, it's about emotional connect. If we observe closely, Jimin's body language tells its own story. The way he walked carefully, the way he slightly bowed his head from time to time, the brief glances he gave toward the fans. Even though he didn't speak, his attitude felt warm and sincere. He didn't ignore the crowd. He didn't rush away impatiently. Instead, he moved with quiet gratitude, as if silently saying, "I know you're here. Thank you." And those tiny gestures are exactly why fans love him so deeply. Of course, like any airport moment with a global star, there were small moments of tension. The crowd was large. Everyone wanted a clear view. Some fans tried to get a little closer, but thankfully, the situation remained under control. Security guided Jimin safely. Fans tried their best to stay organized. There was excitement, but not chaos, and that made the whole moment feel more meaningful rather than overwhelming. Soon, Jimin entered his car and slowly disappeared from sight. The crowd began to calm down, but the emotions didn't fade. Fans started talking to each other, replaying the moment again and again. "Did you see his smile? He looked a little tired. but still so kind. I'm so happy I came today. For outsiders, it might have looked like just another airport arrival. But for ARMY, it was a memory they would carry in their hearts for a long time. A few seconds of seeing him, that meant everything. But interestingly, the emotional day at the airport didn't end there. While ARMY were still talking about Jimin's arrival, attention slowly shifted to another familiar name, Jikook. At first, his moment seemed completely ordinary. Nothing dramatic, no big headlines, just a simple appearance captured on camera. Yet, as always with ARMY, even the smallest detail can turn into something unforgettable. The video was short and simple. Jikook walking calmly through the airport area. No interviews, no special gestures, just him, moving naturally like any other traveler. To most people, it might have looked like just another normal day. But for ARMY, nothing about Jikook ever feels truly normal. Within hours, that short clip began spreading across social media. Shared, reposted, discussed, and little by little, fans started noticing something deeper. At first, everyone simply focused on how he looked. But then, ARMY began to analyze the tiny things. The way he held his bag, the expression on his face, the slight hesitation in his steps. Even the accessories he wore that day became a topic of conversation. Some fans felt his eyes looked softer than usual. Others thought he seemed quieter, more thoughtful. Nothing big happened. Yet somehow, those small details made the moment feel meaningful. That is the magic of ARMY. They noticed things most people would never see. Of course, not everyone saw it the same way. As the video went viral, different opinions started to appear online. Many fans felt emotional watching him. Comments like, "He looks so gentle today. I feel like he was a little tired. There's something warm in his expression." But on the other hand, some netizens had a different perspective. It's just a normal airport moment. Maybe he was simply exhausted from traveling. Not everything has to have a hidden meaning. And honestly, both sides have a point. Because at the end of the day, we can't truly know what someone is feeling just by watching a short clip. This difference in opinion actually shows something important: how deeply people care. For some, that moment was emotional and special. For others, it was simply an ordinary day in Jungkook's life. And neither interpretation is wrong. Loving and analyzing every detail is part of being a fan. At the same time, staying realistic and understanding that idols are human too is just as important. What matters most is respect for Jungkook and for each other's opinions. This is what makes BTS moments so fascinating. Sometimes it's not the big concerts or grand performances that touch hearts the most. It's the simple things. A quiet walk through the airport, a brief glance toward fans, a calm, natural expression. Jungkook didn't need to do anything extraordinary that day. Just being himself was enough to create thousands of emotions. And maybe that is the true power of B.